Hi guys, Omar with Overlanding Just Cause, and in this video, Lensun sent me a 100 watt hour solar panel. I'm very grateful for them, only because, well, there's a bunch of reasons, but I just got sent that lithium 165 amp hour battery, and this is gonna keep it alive when I leave the GX in the driveway with this Lensun 100 watt solar panel. This will keep my battery charged up, just being at camp. Now, I do have a lot of trees overhead. I usually camp in the mountains, and so that does make a huge difference. But where I need it to really take effect is when it's just sitting in the driveway or sitting at work. I reached out to Lensun and they agreed to send me this solar panel meant for the GX. Now, if you haven't checked out Lensun, they make solar panels for a bunch of different vehicles. Check out their website. If you have an FJ Cruiser, a Tacoma, 4Runner, Jeep, Bronco, a lot of vehicles. They have a solar panel made to fit its hood. They're all hood mounted. They send me the whole deal. They send me the solar panel, they send me the MPPT charger, they also send me the wrap that goes underneath it. Now, when I installed it, I decided not to put the wrap on because I already have a wrap, and the wrap is already going on 2 or 3 years old. I plan to keep it on there. If I ever need to take off the wrap and put a new one on, or just now use the paint, the white paint, the pearl paint that the truck originally came with, then I would put that wrap to protect the paint. The wrap is there to protect the paint. I'm already protecting the paint with this wrap, so there's no need to waste the wrap on it. There was a lot of wrapping there and none of it rhymed. So I hooked it up, and the way I hooked it up is interesting because what I needed to do is trickle charge my starter battery, but I also needed to send the load charge to my auxiliary battery. I started off by measuring wires, and let me pop the hood and show you how I connected it. So as you see in the video, I connected it on the passenger side of the vehicle. And the reason why I did that was because, well, I already have a lot of stuff here on the driver's side. I have my dual ARB air compressor. I have my aux beam switch panel. I have like a bunch of fuses for everything, and it's kind of busy over here. So I decided to put it on that part. I ran the 2 wires, the positive and negative, to the battery, and it was long enough. So I decided to install it on the passenger side. Now, if you notice, I did use the plastic piece. I drilled into it. No foul, no harm. Nothing's underneath it other than foam. And then I ran the wire from the MPPT smart controller all the way through the passenger side. I actually ran it underneath the hood, through the door, and down the passenger door side panel. Again, there were no grommets on the passenger side, none that I could find anyway. So I ran it through the driver's side, pretty much the same way I ran the lithium batteries through the driver's side. The difference is the lithium battery is a little bit thicker. I use 6-gauge wire for that. This came with, I want to say, maybe 12-gauge wire, 14-gauge wire, a lot thinner. So it was easier to run through the front passenger panel and into the back. Then I connected that load wire to my MPPT, which I don't know if that is an issue. I'm not 100% sure. This is the first time going out. I actually installed it yesterday. I'm thinking that I might have to cut those wires from the MPPT that I have with lithium and run this controller straight to the battery. Guys, if you know anything about power, batteries, things like that, let me know. Because right now I'm pretty much running it from a smart MPPT that Lensun sent me to lithium's MPPT that goes to the battery? Or do I need to run it from this smart controller here in the engine bay just straight to the battery terminals of my auxiliary battery? I'm running it now, and what I found is so far, because my auxiliary battery is at 100%, I'm showing no load going to my auxiliary battery. Well, and that's just one day of kind of figuring things out. I installed it yesterday. I have all day of sunlight. I went to work, then I drove here. Again, it's charging through the DC to DC charger. I really haven't had a chance to like test it out. So more to come on that. But I have had charging come to the starter battery, and in the middle of the day, it was sunny, I was getting 27 watts of power charging my starter battery, which I think is decent. I mean, it wasn't like full sun, there was some clouds. I mean, it's cloudy now, so it's kind of been like this with the sun like poking itself in and out. One thing I've seen with doing research on Lensun and solar panels and in general solar panels period is that if they say 100 watts or 60 watts, well, you're only going to get a percentage of that. So 100 watts for this solar panel, that's the max. I would have to think that's the perfect setting, the perfect day, the perfect angle that this solar panel is the sun is hitting that solar panel. Like everything has to be perfect, and it's 100 watts. In this case, 27 watts going charging into that solar panel and charging my starter battery. I think it's decent. I mean, like I said, it was sunny, but it was on and off. There were clouds, and it was just a beautiful day. But here's the thing. I don't need it to charge everything up. I just need it to maintain it. Because again, while I'm driving, my auxiliary battery is being charged. Well, while I'm driving, my starter battery is being charged by the alternator. I don't really need a full charge. What I need is a trickle charge. I need, while it's sitting and just hanging out, I need to be able to, get a little bit of power and maintain that power. So that's where I think this solar panel comes in. And the fact that it looks so good, I like it. I mean, I think the wrap with the black in the center, I think it looks really good. I will give you guys more updates the more trips I take and the more research I do. There is an app, once you install it, there is an app that you download and you kind of check out. There's not a lot of information online with the app, but once I get everything figured out, I will definitely do another recap on how it's doing with the auxiliary battery, with the starter battery, and how much charge. Because one thing about the app, which is cool, is that it keeps a history of how much is charged through, a certain amount of time. So I will be able to show all that once, I'm out and I'm doing, whether it's parked in the driveway or we're out camping for 2 or 3 days, whatever the case is, I'll be able to show that data. I think it's a good addition, and I think I'm gonna get good use out of this with my setup. Again, guys, more data to come as I camp, as I go out, as I leave it parked. I'll keep you posted on all that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.